Hey guys, we're moving on to Module 1, Lesson 10. Some more rounding, more practice, but today you're going to add in some word problems in there, so using real-world applications. And that will happen mostly on the problem set, but we will do one word problem on the video today. Here we go. Just starting off with practicing some more rounding. We have the same number, but rounding to a different digit each time. We're going to start with the hundred thousands place. We have 900,000s. Okay, so that would go ahead and round to 900,000. Now, hopefully you've already realized in your head, maybe you've had enough practice with this, that you did that pretty quick. I did that pretty quick because I knew I could look right to the right, and that if 5 were to be my midpoint, 3 is below it. So I know I need to keep my 9 the same and turn the rest into zeros. I have 900,000. Now in the second one, we're going to be rounding to the nearest 10,000. So we have 93 10,000s. I look to the right, and that 5 is going to tell the 3 to either stay a 3, stay at 93, or get shoved up to 94. And because it is a 5, because it's right at the midpoint, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, you give that 3 a shove up one more 10,000. So 93 plus 1 would be 94 10,000s. So we'd have 940,000. All right, and then we're going to round to the thousands place. If we look to the right of the thousands place, we have a 2. Our midpoint would have been 500. So since we are at 200s, we keep the 5 down low. So we have 935 thousands. If that 2 were, say, an 8, it would shove that 5 up to a 6, and we'd have 936 thousands. But because it's below our 5, we keep it down low. All right, here's the word problem we're going to do today. In the year 2012, there were 935,292 visitors to the White House. Each visitor needs a map so they can navigate their way around that White House. About how many maps will they need in 2013? So I don't want you to get confused with the years here. Those numbers don't really matter. We're just talking about 1 year and then the next year. The 935,292 is the number that we really need to focus on. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that number. 935,292. Now they said about how many maps. When you see that word about, we know we're going to have to do some rounding. So the question is, what spot do we round to? They're kind of leaving it up to us to round here because they didn't say round to the nearest 100 or round to the nearest 10,000. So it's up to us to decide what we should round to. Now, in the previous lesson, we learned that if the closer we are to the ones place, the more accurate our rounding is. If I rounded to the nearest 100,000s, that 3 would tell the 9 to stay the same. So that would give us 900,000. Now think about that. If I said, oh, you only need about 900,000 maps next year, and they had 935,000 visitors, plus a little, I rounded that, 935,292 visitors, is 900,000 going to be enough maps? Now, normally I'm sure their number increases every year with how many people they have. So I'm cutting them short of 35,292 maps. So rounding to the 100,000s place is certainly not a good choice. So what happens if I round to the nearest 10,000s place instead? That 5 would tell that 3 to bump up. So that would become 940,000. Now, what do you think, guys? Is that a decent number that we could tell them? Would they have enough maps if their number increased? And hopefully you're saying yes, because 935,000 and 940,000 are 5,000. There's a 5,000 difference there. So they certainly should have enough maps. Now we could even round to, let's say, the hundreds place. If I rounded to the hundreds place, that 2 would tell the hundreds place, the 5, to stay the same. So we would say 935,000 and the rest would become zeros. Now what about that? Could we tell them that you'll need about 935,000 maps? I wouldn't be comfortable telling them that they only need that many maps, because if they had this many visitors in 2012, they could possibly have more. And if they only make 935,000, they may run short. So it's better to overestimate than to underestimate. So I think the best bet would be to round to the 10,000s place. So they will need about 940,000 maps. And that's an overestimate instead of an underestimate. I'm going to skip my statement here just so I can speed this video along. But normally this would be a redraw, right? So your statement would say the White House would need about 940,000 maps in 2013. All right, last one. I'm giving you a tricky one here because you might see something like this on your exit ticket. You are being asked to round to the thousands place, to the 10,000s place, and to the 100,000s place with this number on the top. So if I'm to round to the thousands place, I'm going to go ahead and circle my thousands place. I'm going to look to the right, and that 4 will tell that 8 what to do. My midpoint would have been 500s, and I have 400s, which is less than 500s. So we're going to keep it down low. 4 below, keep it down low. So I'm going to stay at 798 thousandths. Okay? Next, they want me to round to the 10,000ths place. So I'm going to highlight the 10,000ths place. I'll get a different color here. So here's my 10,000ths place. The number to the right will tell me what to do. Since I have an 8, my midpoint would be 5,000ths. So since 8 is above that, it's going to tell the 9 to give a shove. But wait a second here. I can't go higher than 9. So if I have 79 10,000ths, what's one more than 79? 79, 80. So I would have 80 10,000ths, or 800 thousandths. So it gets a little tricky when you get 9s in there, but you just have to think, okay, if I have 79,000, what's one more? You guys know how to count up from 79, 79, 80. All right, last but not least, they want us to round to the 100,000ths place, which is a 700 thousandths. The number to the right, that 9 is going to tell the 7 what to do. My midpoint would have been 50,000. Since it's a 9, it is going to give that 7 a shove up. So if I have 700 thousandths, I'm going to give it a shove up to 800 thousandths. Now, if you notice, even though I just rounded to the 10,000ths and to the 100,000ths place, I still got the same number. And I got the same number because when I rounded that 9 up, the 8 told the 9 to go up one more 10,000. And in order for that 9 to go up one more 10,000, I had to add one 10,000 to that. And when I add one 10,000 to 79, I get 80 10,000s. So that may happen. All right, guys, go ahead and get started on the problem set.